Hello there, friends, and welcome to this episode. Today we will talk about a diet that nearly literally killed me, so I will not show any links or anything to this diet because I think for most people with diabetes type 1, like myself, this diet can be very dangerous. I was young, I was experimenting with every type of diet. And I came over I think it was a YouTube video at first with a guy who meant that he could cure diabetes type 1 as well as type 2. He also have a book that I bought and I started to follow one of these plans. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's a keto vegan diet. And I didn't know, I was young, I should really have looked into it. I should really have consulted with a doctor first. The consequences you can get when you have diabetes with a more keto type of diet. So I didn't know anything of these, I just kind of dove into it without too much thinking. So what I mostly consumed during a day was vegan low carb products, which is mostly some types of vegetables, not all types because some are too high in carbs, and a lot of nuts and seeds. So mainly vegetables, different types, which are not too high in carbs, and a lot of nuts and seeds. And I would drink these type of, I think they are called milks, where you make kind of a milk, but with different types of walnuts, cashew nuts, and so on, and you can add some coconut for some fats. So I was basically living on vegetables and nuts and seeds. And I didn't feel good at all, even from the beginning. I felt really, really bloated. I mean, it must have been a ton of fiber. And my energy level was very, very low as well. I think it was quite hard to digest this type of food. And I noticed also in training, I would feel almost like a bit dizzy and not very good. And I would do this for, I don't know how long I managed, maybe 2 weeks, and I kind of would feel a bit worse every time. And it came to one evening, I started to puke, and it didn't stop. I think I must have puked maybe 50 times. I remember this night very good because there was a big storm. So while this huge giant storm was going on, I was just puking and puking and puking and not stopping to puke. So after a while I would of course get a bit afraid because I would just puke like my stomach content up, stomach acids, which is very, very not nice at all. So yeah, I must have puked like 50 times. It just never ended. So I understood something must be terribly wrong. And then I came to the hospital and they could see like my blood was way too acidic. So I almost, yeah, I almost did, maybe not killed myself, but I may caused a lot of harm to myself. And if I would have continued with this, maybe it would have had quite a bad outcome. So I would put onto all types of tubes and so on. And they were really strict when they told me like, why did you do this diet? And people with diabetes type 1 should never do something like that. And of course then I felt quite stupid because if I really would have looked a bit more into it, I also would have understood that this is not a good idea. But again, I was young, I was willing to try everything, even go to these extremes like I did there, with only eating basically vegetables, nuts and seeds, and a lot of these nuts and seeds, of course, then in a machine, so it will create type of milk. It definitely did not cure my diabetes, even though I did take extremely low amounts of insulin on that diet. It's maybe because I almost had no carbs consumed, so I would also lose weight, so it would not be sustainable at all in the long run. And I can also just imagine all the micronutrients I wouldn't get through this type of diet. So would not recommend it for anyone. I think it's quite dangerous actually. So yeah, please never try a um, vegan keto diet when you have diabetes type 1, or at least consult your doctor before, but I have a feeling that no doctor would recommend this. It definitely doesn't cure your diabetes, and it can make you very fast go to the hospital with other problems. So that is my story of how maybe the most extreme diet I did, at least one of them, and the one that really had a bad outcome. So puking 50 times is absolutely horrible, feeling that you will never stop puking, and I will not recommend it to anyone to have this experience. So but that's how you get from doing stupid things when you're young, then sometimes also you get burned. And here I definitely got burned and started to take a bit more precautions after a while. So maybe at least it's a somehow tragic but funny story after, luckily not tragic. So with some days at the hospital with some normal food again and some nutrients, I came back pretty quickly, but it was very scary at the moment right there. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.